Hello friends, today we will see what Navaratri means. Navaratri is a festival which is celebrated across India for a period of about 10 days and which is 9 nights, and each day one form of goddess will be worshipped. So this festival has got different names these days, and they even have different stories, independent stories for each of those. In general, goddess Durga is said to have won over Mahishasura, or sometimes they call it as goddess Durga won over Daruka in Kerala. And again, Navaratri is celebrated in different names, as Durga puja, Dasara. Some say Dasara is something else, but all in all, Navaratri is a festival for Shakti, for women. Okay? And during these days, different forms of Shakti are worshipped. So when I say different forms of Shakti, they have different names, starting from Shailaputri, Brahmacharni, and so on. One interesting thing to note here is the Shakti in general, the stories related or associated with Shakti are crude. And there will be blood involved, sacrifices, and so on, which you can see spread all over India, even rural villages and so on. We will be still able to find traces of Shakti worship. But interestingly, what the Vaishnavites have done is that they have copied all the forms of Shakti and renamed them into Lakshmi, calling them Ashtalakshmi. Right? So there are 9 forms of Devi Shakti as in the traditional Navaratri celebration. But out of that 9, Vaishnavites have copied 8 of them and given the name Ashtalakshmi. The number 8 is correct because even in Shakti, in the Shakti worship, the last day is Siddhidatri, which is worshipping a goddess who gives siddhis. Yeah? So it's a general thing. We will see the relevance towards the end of this video. So going further, here I have tried to give the equivalent of the Lakshmi compared to the Shaktis. Okay, Shailaputri is Adi or Mahalakshmi, Brahmacharni, Dhanalakshmi, Chandraganta, Dhanyalakshmi, Kushmanda, Gajalakshmi, Skandamata, Santanalakshmi, Katyayani, Veeralakshmi, Kalaratri or Kali, Vijayalakshmi, Mahagauri or Saraswati is Vidyalakshmi. Just by looking at the pictures, you will be able to see one thing which strikes immediately is that the goddesses where the Shaktis are, let's say, in simple form, let's say calm and composed. The first 2 versions, you will see the same with Lakshmi. And then the number of hands, they increase. Yeah? It's like there is a reason for why Chandraganta is shown with a sword and so on. But Dhanyalakshmi is shown in a different way, without sword. And then you have the Kushmanda, which means Anda means egg. So that she will carry a pot. Okay. And the equivalent of Gajalakshmi will also have the elephants with something, elephants taking something from the pot or showering. But there will be a pot. That is the key thing. And then Skandamanta is the one with a child. You'll also see Santana Lakshmi. Santanam in Tamil means the birth, or let's say generations, next generations. Katyayani is shown in a fierce form, which is Veera Lakshmi. Kali is Vijaya Lakshmi, again with some swords and weapons. Mahagauri, she is white, and that is the equivalent of Saraswati, that is shown as Vidya Lakshmi. As I said earlier, the Siddhidatri in the middle, it's a general form of Shakti herself. Okay. Now, is there a relationship with pregnancy here at all? In Gujarat, there is a dance called Garba dance, and they play this dance during Navaratri. Okay, and in general, they also, in northern part of India, they install a pot, and they light a lamp in it, and they keep it sacred and so on. So, is there anything related to pregnancy here? In this video, we will take a look at the different Shaktis from a Siddhanta perspective. What is Siddhanta? Siddhanta is like God is not someone who is sitting up and so on. That is Hinduism. Right? That is according to Upanishads. God is not sitting somewhere there and so on. That is real Hinduism. So Siddhanta also follows exactly the same, and the way it differs from the other religion or the religious aspects of Hinduism is that we believe that, okay, this is goddess or this is God and so on. But Siddhanta just literally tries to open it and see what could be the real truth in it. Right? So this is just an attempt. This is not to harm anyone, or not to, let's say, make your mind feel sad or anything. So it is not to insult anyone as well. So let's have a look. Just before any Navaratri period, what precedes Navaratri is something called Mahalaya. Mahalaya lasts for 2 weeks. What is Mahalaya? Mahalaya, it's celebrated in West Bengal. This is a time where they invite goddess Gauri or Durga to earth, asking her to come to earth, and they prepare the statues or idols of goddess, and then once they are done with that, Navaratri starts. Okay, so looking at that from a human body perspective, this is a goddess festival, so it is related to women. And then Mahalaya is compared, or can be compared to, the time when a woman in her cycle, the first day, starting from the first day, it takes 14 days for an egg cell to be released or ovulated. Okay, this is 14 days. From the day of ovulation, if a sperm penetrates or fertilizes the egg, then from the day of ovulation, it takes 9 days for the egg to come to the uterus and gets implanted into the endometric lining. Okay, so 14 days. This is the time during which an egg cell gets prepared to be ovulated. The 9 days is the time period during which the fertilized egg cell gets implanted in the uterus, starting from the fallopian tube. So this is an overview picture. And what happens during these days is what we are going to see in this video. So if you look at the picture here, as you can see, from the day of release or from the day of ovulation, the egg cell gets fertilized by the sperms and undergoes meiotic division, then first cleavage. It becomes 2 cell, and then 4 cell, 8, 64, and by the end of day 9, it gets implanted. Okay. Now, Golu. In the southern part of India, in southern India, we have this concept of Golu. This is something interesting because in a Golu, they used to keep dolls or toys of in pairs, a male and a female. Okay, and these dolls were supposed to be passed over generations through the maternal line. That is, a mother gives these dolls to her daughters, and then the daughter gives it to her daughter, and it goes on. On the last day of the Guru, one of the doll is supposed to be taken away. Okay, this is the tradition. I do not know if they are still doing it now. What it means is from the ovary, there are so many oogonia. So that means the egg cells, okay, the egg cells in its primary form. There are so many cells, and every month one is released. Okay, and these cells are formed when the baby is born. So I'll repeat. When a baby child, when a girl child is born, she already has got all the egg cells within her. Okay, so they were developed when the baby was in the mother's womb. Okay, in the mother's belly. And so it's something which the mother gives to her daughter. So that's the reason why Golus were having this tradition. Now, we spoke about Mahalaya. Mahalaya is an invitation to the goddess, and I think it is in West Bengal. They have this name Chak Sudan, giving eyes to the goddess. I just want you to have a look at what happens within the ovary and how one egg cell is released. So here, one cell is out of many cells, one cell is developing, and this is the cell which will become an egg cell and be released. And this egg cell will send some signals to the brain and the pituitary glands so that the other hormones are triggered. The luteinizing hormones and follicle stimulating hormones are all triggered, and the egg is released from the ovary, as we can see. Now, as I said earlier, the female is born with a complete number of primary oocytes, which is about 2 million. Okay? And out of this 2 million, only 200 or 300 will reach its maturation state. Yeah, all the other cells will be just thrown away. What is important is there are two polar bodies which are formed in this process. That means when an egg cell develops from its initial state to its final state, there are two smaller bodies created, similar to the egg cell, but much smaller in size. Okay, this is something to be kept in mind. And the equivalent of the egg cell as such, as we call as sacred grove, is spread all over India. Okay, in Kerala they call it as Kavu. In Tamil Nadu, Kovilkadu. They have different names, but in each and every, let's say, village or I don't know, some rural parts of India, they have this concept of sacred groves. It is very It's basically a place for the energy or the Shakti. Okay, it will be like that. Now, relevance of polar bodies. If you look at the first day, Shailaputri is worshipped on the first day, and the equivalent Lakshmi is Adi Lakshmi. Shailaputri means the daughter of mountains. So she was born in a mountain. So any goddess, if you look, if she's born in a mountain, that is the ovary. The ovary is, let's say, is what is referred to as the mountain. The first form of Lakshmi or Parvati or anyone will have two sisters. Yeah, if you look, read through the Puranas, what I found was Parvati had two sisters, Ekaparna and Ekapatala. And Aparna Shakti did not eat anything and did a great penance. She was fasting for long. So what it means is, by the time a child was born, the egg cells are already formed, and it has to wait for a very long time before it can mature. Okay, that is called as the penance period. She is also called as Aditi or Earth, Adi Parasakti, that is the first Parasakti, Ammavaru or Adi Lakshmi. Why is it Adi? Because, as I mentioned earlier, the child is already born with the egg cells while it was in the mother. Where did it come? Where did it get it? Where did it get these cells from? From mother. Where did mother get it? From her mother. So if you go back, you can easily trace it to actual Shakti herself. So this is the primary cell, which is referred to as the Adi Shakti, which gives rise to new forms of life. Okay? So the middle picture here, I have added just to show the two polar bodies which are formed in the process. Okay, why? If you go to some temples, especially goddess Amman temples, where Amman or goddess Durga or Parvati, any form of Parvati or Shakti, where she is worshipped as a small girl, yeah, we will find two friends next to her. Okay, in Kanyakumari, they are called Vijaya Sundari and Bala Sundari. So these two friends, they actually represent the two polar bodies which are created in that process. So again, this is a virgin goddess. She was not married. She was not married. She was waiting to get married with Lord Shiva, but Shiva, let's say, did not marry her, so she remained as a virgin. And this is one example of Shailaputri in her the first form. Right? And then in the next videos, we will see more about the goddesses in the forthcoming days. Thank you.